I am Itachi done right. Now, what you guys need to understand is my brother had tons and tons of potential, but in me, I have to tell you this: that is no potential, if you ask me. Only because of his cockiness and his head start in life and everything that made him overflow throughout the years. How can you ever try to dumb down somebody who's achieved way more than you at life and try to combat him with basic shit? That is his mindset throughout the entire thing. And a lot of people try to claim that this shit is forced. You should be more like him. You should literally have more friends. Literally, I knew that he will lower his standards to get what he wants. And that is not cool. That is not fine by me. But why do I say I'm him done right? It's because there was a time where he could have been a badass. He could have been this and that. But he went on years and years, damn near decades, of staying the same, relying on stupid people, putting his foot in and then dipping out. And then he has all these great memories with his friends and his brothers to fall back on. Oh, it's okay. I'm multi-dimensional. I'll make it eventually. Sitting on his ass watching Netflix show all day. Now, who is my brother? My brother used to be considered Gohan, and nobody viewed me more than Goten. But here was the problem. They all left him. All of his friends caught on to his bullshit. All of his friends moved on. And some of his friends actually had good families. There was this Asian guy that he used to hang out with, even when I was in high school, that had to keep on moving back to the country. And he sold drugs with him in high school. And he tried to tell me this. He's all like, this guy was crazy as fuck. My best friend is a triple black belt in karate. I only fuck with the best. I only fuck with this and that. He was smacked off of ecstasy throughout the entire high school, talking to a cop. 200 pills on him, and he still didn't get caught. I'm sorry, he pulled you over for a reason. You got caught, but is he really going to destroy your future? As a grown man, I understand that they let them win, and they have this big-ass ego, and that they are nowhere near the older generation of their so-called gangster. So here's what I'm trying to say. Now, it's not even that anymore. He used to be a brute, but he was so fucking idiotic because he was only a brute to people he know he could be in the fight. And so he used to give me these emotional speeches like, oh, you're bitching, complaining about not getting girls in high school. I used to get jumped. I used to get this and that. I'm like, okay, that ain't shit. He's like, nigga, have you ever been in a knife fight before? There was this one time I threw a knife at him and he ducked so I can literally hit him with the big punch, hit him with the knockout. And I'm like, okay. As a kid, I'm like, that's cool and shit, but that's literally some anime shit. I've been on that shit. You throwing a knife as a distraction and then hooking somebody and knocking them out is not shit to me. It's like, nigga, I used to steal candy. I used to sell it. I'm like, all that shit isn't shit to me. All that shit is trivial. And yes, at the time, you can look up to him like he's the best teenager of all time, but he has to grow up. My brother lost his potential, and he literally turned into the Great Saiyaman. Literally. There was this one time I was watching him playing Tekkaichi. I'm like, why are you playing as the Great Saiyaman? Is it just a costume? He's like, man, you don't know how real this shit is. This nigga was going to school as a superhero and shit. In all seriousness, that may be comical, but this is a serious situation. Because he viewed shit that way is the reason why he is nothing but hype. Hype and disappointment. I am the actual Gohan that didn't stop training. I am the Gohan that surpassed his limits. Now he's the Gohan that wears glasses and he still can't even fight and he has no family. So where does that get you? Where's all that personality get you? You have to have actions. You have to literally be about what you say. And him throwing a knife and literally using it as a distraction for a hook is literally the greatest ankle when you're in high school. But literally, the shit that I had to pull last year was fucking horrendous. Dodging bullets after bullets after bullets when I didn't have a gun. Dodging a bunch of people with knives. Dodging a bunch of people with guns. All because of their self-defense. But you still want to go on him. Okay, you can ride that Tarzan all you want. You can say I'm a square. You can say I'm fun loving. You can say this and that. But that's why I got shit done. Because I dealt with the pain. Because I dealt with the suffering. Because I wasn't in denial. No matter how much style, you can't fool me because I get the facts done and I put in the work. Okay, you can try to cover up factual delivery all you want. But you're still lying at the end of the day. The lie travels farther than the truth. Okay, keep telling yourself that. You need to understand what a front is. You have to understand that he's talking to a little kid. You have to understand why he joined the Obelix Blue. You have to understand why his shit faded away. You can absorb all the charisma you want, but that's how girls end up dating the wrong guys because of that stupid ass front that they never back up with their actions. I am Itachi done right because I did everything in the form of self-defense. Literally, last year I felt like I was the most like Itachi because I was the only street smart guy in my city and a city for a whole bunch of squares. Well, I'm used to hanging out with Raj. You have to understand that. Everything that he pretended to be is something that I became times 10. Literally, he's like, nigga, you don't know the kind of work I'm doing. Stuff like, literally, Christmas comes along, I still have to dodge bullets all the way home, and I'm literally just excited to come home for cookies. That's the exact way I viewed my brother when I was in junior high. I'm like, dude, he's such a gangster, he's such a jack of all trades, and he's still willing to watch anime with me. That ain't shit. He lived a full life. That's honestly just traits that he mastered. Those are just doing everything individually. He mastered sports. He did this and that. He showed me how to watch anime online. That ain't shit. Because once I had the same tools, I was able to do it times 10. And you need to understand that. Stop praising people when you're a little kid and look up to them icons. See what they actually are. If your opinion doesn't change, then you're not a man. That's just my personal opinion. Like me, when I was younger, I used to think that Super 17 was the best character in GT, even plot-wise because of how powerful he became, how he kept on absorbing energy, how he kept on owning Super Saiyan 4. But I'm all like, plot-wise, Baby Vegeta is way stronger. As a villain, Baby Vegeta was the nastiest villain in GT, but I didn't notice that when I was younger. I was just noticing Super 17's character design. I was noticing his grip. I was noticing how fucking savage that he became. Knowing that Goku let him get him that savage. But plot-wise, Baby Vegeta is still and will always be a better villain than Super 17. Why? Because his villain plays into the whole continuity of even Part 1 Dragon Ball. Which is what's really crazy about GT. Plot-wise, Baby Vegeta takes the cake. Sorry. And my opinion changed over time. I'll give you another example of why my brother got left behind. He saw me singing on the track, and I used to talk to myself when I was in 8th grade in my head like, oh my God, I'm so much like Twister. I'm so much like this and that. I want to be an R&B singer. Ha, ha, ha. I just want to lay you down. But literally, what happened was this. My brother heard me sing for the very first time. Like, oh, my little brother, Aries, he's finally trying to caress a bitch. He's finally trying to do this and that. I'm like, get out your head, bro. That's why you get no bitches. You see how cruel that is? That's how you have to look at reality. I used to think like that. I used to think that whole R&B shit, but that's what makes you a sucker. That's literally what makes you a sucker. I'm sorry. It's like, oh, he wants to do this and that. Oh, with Aries sings and makes their panties wet and stuff like that. No. Stop thinking like that. Stop getting in your head and get into reality. Get results in reality. That's why he got stuck in his head, because he never tried to sing, did he? And once you actually learn how to sing, you don't want to resort to saying shit like that. Once you actually learn how to rap for real, you gotta realize that all that shit that he was talking about is trivial. He is Earl Sweatshirt and he's acting like Mos Def. That is literally what the fuck he is. It's not lyrical, it's not anything because he doesn't practice. He only has an edge because he grew up in a generation where hip-hop was dominant. But he stopped training, he stopped practicing. So what he could have been when he was younger, if he kept on that cold lifestyle, if he was in the streets the whole way, he could have been Batman Beyond. That's because me and him share the same DNA. He wasted his potential because of the fact that nobody ever called him out on this bullshit. And if they did through street knowledge. And if you were really street smart, you would understand why people let you win in every social interaction. That's like I let you win when you tried to attack me when I was a special ed, where I had so much to fall back on. You guys, especially this generation, will praise the entertainment that he brings, but doesn't praise what he's earned in life. What did he achieve? You're so distracted by the fucking comedy that you don't know who he truly is as a person. That's why I'm him done right, because I don't fuck around and I get to business, literally. And that's why he turned gay. He didn't know what he wanted to do when he was young. He kept on scolding me when he didn't have a career in mind. He literally did not recognize his flaws and literally just say he was the best. There was this time where literally I got rejected by a girl and he's all like, dude, stop tripping about business. I need you to think like this. See, missed out. See, missed out. Suicidal guy in high school that stabs himself in front of his mother. Yeah, see, missed out, alright. See, missed out on a one-dimensional anime nerd that can only make jokes in his comfort zone and can't relate to any topic other than anime. Alright. See, missed out on a lot, bro. He has that fake confidence, and that's why he never got a girl. He stayed in his head, saying that he was the best, saying that girls weren't worth my time. And that's why he stayed where he was at, dumbass. He didn't take no hits like he thought he did. Literally. I have the mindset of, if this guy hits me, I might die. And he has the mindset, oh, the worst he can do is knock me out. Okay, well, he can knock you out, he can rape you in your sleep, and you won't feel a thing, dumbass. See, they didn't miss out on anything. That's why I had to train. That's why I had to get better style. That's why I had to literally learn how to have fun. And he's like, oh, but that's why you have no responsibility. You never had responsibility. You went to night school. You have a temp job. Get the fuck out of here. You take advantage of the fact that people feel sorry for you. And people know if I had the same opportunity, I would take advantage of it. And that's why you have the opportunity and I don't. But it's okay. You're in over your head, literally comparing nothing to greatness because you have more followers, but those followers don't mean shit. You understand what quality over quantity is. He literally gets into group after group after group when he goes to community college and then bails out for no fucking reason because he got into a whole bunch of parties and he never paid rent. That's how irresponsible he is. I'm sorry. I'm the kind of person that asks, oh, where's the website going? Right away. Sorry. Oh, but that's what makes you a square. No, that's what makes me a businessman, dumbass. Stop praising comedy with no responsibility. You have your whole life to learn how to be funny. You have your whole life to learn how to have swagger. Literally, you focusing on the adolescent level is going to keep you at adolescent level. I'm sorry. He can never become Batman Beyond because he's not a brute like he said he was. And then it came down to where high school level where he was scared of me because I kept on pushing. The reason why he locked me in that room is so I can never bulldoze my way through society, so I can never be hard-headed like he is because he knows I'm smarter than him, and I've proven that to him 100 times. You know what God told me when I was in high school? You know why he's scared to fight you? It's because of the way you play Naruto. The way you use your subs when you take advantage of a situation when everybody's focusing on saving themselves, when you're making them waste themselves with aggression, but it's aggression with strategy, is the exact reason why he doesn't want you to have a stronger head. He told you that your face is going to get stronger every time you get hit, so when you bull rush, it's going to work, but when he bull rush, he's going to trip and fall. Literally, God gave you the play-by-play. I don't want to fight you because of the way you play Naruto, how strategic you are. How the fuck did you get away with being aggressive? Because he was already a nerd first. And you're telling them to think, and that's the whole reason why I mastered Ultra Instinct metaphorically before he did. You're too busy on thinking and not acting. That is literally the form of retardation. Enough with this, enough with that, enough with saying that Call of Duty is why you're uncoordinated, why you don't want to play. He's scared the fuck of the way you play Naruto and how literally you set up trap after trap after trap. Even though you play aggressively, you know what to do at the right times, at the right place. And that's why he constantly gets in your head to discourage you from making the action. Literally. And so he missed out on the whole thing that he told me when he was younger, talking about, I'm like, why is Gohan so weak in Dragon Ball Z? He's like, dude, he was going to school. He didn't have time to train. I'm like, you know what? That's exactly where you are. But instead of not going to school or doing anything, you're just lazy. You got away with it because you had friends, but now you're in the real world where friends can't protect you. Where you have to literally figure this shit out on your own. I was always on my own. And that's why I had nobody fake to fall back on. And maybe twice as strong, and I went through twice as much as pain that made me a stronger person. Stop relying on shitty people. Stop relying on your adolescents and start literally grinding for better results. Start networking with people who are actually worth it instead of people who are there just to drink beer and smoke weed.